struggling to find a foolproof solution to those heebie-jeebies you experience every time you see that lassie? We've figured out for you how to flirt with a girl in middle school, so that you take that step, and let her know that you care. There's nothing quite like dressing your best, every damn day for school, just so that she notices you. Like cramming an entire chapter the night before, so that you lay an impression on her by answering every question the professor commands the next day. Just one glance from the corner of her eye, and your day's made. There's also nothing quite like the tacit signals that could, sometimes, take your heart on cloud nine, and the very next moment, swoop it down on the ground. It's astonishing how friends know it all, but she doesn't. It is then that you become friends with the roses of your garden, chit-chat with the skies, and turn into a complete dork. Dorky? True that. Let me just clear it out first. I'm not one of those typical old hands experienced in dishing out all kinds of points to be taken advice. Not that I didn't try to become a Johnny on the spot for my pals during middle school. What I can do, however, is groom you enough to make the first move, and display your interest for her in front of the world. I'm all for the modern ways and means to get a girl interested enough in you, and if your stars are even a bit benevolent towards you, get her to ask you out too. The art of flirting with a girl definitely needs some serious work. So, let's figure out a cool bunch of things to say and do that make it easy for you to flirt with a girl in middle school. Flirting with a girl in middle school, tips. 1. Nothing can be worse than sitting with her in the same class, in close proximity, but still being just another guy for her. There you see, the most important thing to mull over is to, at least, make your presence felt to her. Never be outspoken, never show her that you're just too interested in talking to her. But, never leave a chance to help her. This doesn't mean you start carrying all her books, handbag, or overcoat. Draw a line, but make a casual conversation without sounding jerky. Just be there for her. End of the line. 2. You could always start with carrying out some research on stuff she likes, movies she enjoys, music she taps feet to, and then bring them out in conversation. Even better, ask her to accompany you for a show to a movie of her interest. Nothing would amuse her more than seeing you taking interest in stuff she's fond of. All you need to keep in mind is, pretend you're confident even when you're not. Confidence will soon come naturally to you, if she responds to you with equal enthusiasm. 3. Good listeners are good flirts. Never heard that before, have we? Well, you don't really need to sit there like a dud, and listen to anything and everything she talks of. You really need to be a good listener, for girls. Many girls love blabbering. They can chatter till forever, and will never get bored of it. Ask her questions, but wait till she's done speaking. No, trust me, she will get done with talking sometime. Do not interrupt her, for interruption could put a full stop to your conversation. What is more, it kills all your chances of making a good impression on her, thereafter. Breaking in between, arguing that could lead to locking horns and crossing swords, will just make this conversation your last conversation with her. It's better to seem quiet, than seem to be stupid, and definitely better than sounding beastly. 4. I haven't seen a single girl on the face of this earth who is not a sucker for compliments. Perhaps, the best way to flirt with a girl is to tell her that she has definitely lost weight. Every time she passes you by, compliment her on her style of dressing. Tell her that there ain't no girl you saw who got this kind of dressing right. Don't be too deliberate, for you might sound absolutely fake. Don't be too overwhelming, for you might sound like a homo. To lighten the moment, you could crack a joke or two about a girl who created a mockery of herself by dressing in similar way. Moments of merriment will never go in vain, and your wits, they'll make a hit on her. Definitely. 5. I'm just too fond of this modern technology called messaging/texting/something that has given users the ability to plan, speak, and flirt with a girl over text. Who knew you could come out to be super witty and extremely funny with a few words as a text, Even when you erased, wrote, deleted, rewrote, saved as a draft, opened again, and edited your message 10 times before you hit on send? Let's assume you have her phone number, and all you need to do is flirt with her, keep it friendly and cool, and still strike the chord. Start with a discussion about the current happenings in your school, or maybe a funny one-liner. Please, I beg you not to send those cocky terrorist and sun and moon kinda punchlines that seriously contaminate the surroundings. More importantly, please do not make spelling mistakes. It's such a big turn-off. A working trick could be skipping a class, if only a casual one, so that you could borrow notes the next day. Tell her about it in text, so that she herself makes an attempt to ask you the reason behind the leave. Similar rules apply when you attempt to flirt with a girl on Facebook or email. The mantra is, choose your words wisely. Finally, if improvised flirting scenarios don't do the trick for you, and you fail to impress her, the only thing left is to tell her straight off that you like her. At worst, she could never look back at you, and you could celebrate in merriment the quest of impressing a girl who never even cared. At best, she would look up to you and wish you could have said this a bit earlier. It really takes courage to tell her that you like her straight and simple. But, if you favor mounting bit by bit, considering the bits and nuances of how to flirt with a girl does make a difference. My word.